It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Birds and the Bucs, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from Tampa. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. I thought the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
They'll run on first down. Pittman, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Johnson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. Johnson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as they'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here come the Eagles for their initial possession of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now an option play, and he'll keep it. Oh, he sheds himself free. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Let's go, get excited. Let's go.
Well, you don't expect too many quarterbacks to be adept at breaking away from would-be tacklers, but this is uncommonly good right here as he's able to get away.
And defensively, you're going to have some guys with hands on hips looking to the heavens right now. You've got a fairly clean shot at the quarterback here. but he's able to worm his way out of that initial contact, and not only that, he's able to put it downfield for good yardage.
On first down, it's Cunningham. And his throw is incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cunningham looking to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Cunningham to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
The Cunningham's throw taken in here by Jackson. A gain of 6 there on first. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now Cunningham. That's complete to his running back, Carter. And he is going to have an Eagles first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. A play fake. Now Cunningham. He's going to go up top for the end zone.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cunningham. Throw left side complete. That's Jackson. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now Cunningham. Bringing it in. Jackson left side. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Here's Cunningham. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. There to make the grab. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point attempt to come here. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Throwing to start the drive. Johnson. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Five yards remain on second down.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Back to throw. Johnson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On first down, Pittman. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9.
Looking to throw. Johnson. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off play action, it's Cunningham. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
The Eagles on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Now a first down throw, Cunningham. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
To throw on 2nd down, Cunningham. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And that is incomplete. So on now the field goal team for Philadelphia. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And his kick is indeed good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now he dumps this off over the middle, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Now Johnson throwing on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact, and in his mind just screamed, out of my way, and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
They'll look to throw again. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That's good, the completion there for 7 yards. And that'll make this a second down.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Back to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The last drive, remember, a similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Johnson now looking to throw on second, and he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Back to throw. Johnson firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for Philadelphia. And despite the big lead, they really did next to nothing throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage. We'll see how aggressive they want to be going forward. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
56. Mike, 56. 56.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Cunningham. Flushed out right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Back to throw. Cunningham. Trying to lay one up deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
The Eagles send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
You can't block me. You can't block me. 56.
Throwing on first down. Johnson. That's caught by Jurevicius. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there on the catch and run. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. Operating from the gun, Johnson. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. A great effort there. There to make the ground. And the Bucs have made this a one-score game. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on first and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like that memory was a little too long there.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to a field goal. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Out of the gun here, it's Cunningham. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Off-play action. Cunningham. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Here's Cunningham from the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Here we go.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Cunningham. He gets it complete to Jackson. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On 1st and 10, Cunningham. And that's going to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10 now as we roll along in the third quarter from Tampa. Now a handoff looking right. Gets through and now an opening. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Looking to throw. Cunningham. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown of this third quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also in letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. A time to get another look at this Buccaneer offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Johnson on first down. Finding the open man, Jurevicius. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Johnson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Johnson from the gun on 3rd down. He gets this one to Johnson. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we watch them drive, and it would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Back to throw. Johnson. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. Johnson. Steps away to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Left side and into the hands of Jurevicius. He'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Johnson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18.
From the gun, Johnson. Eluding and the pressure gets to him again. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo, He's a very, very fickle man.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Johnson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's complete to Jurevicius. And he is going to be out of bounds a mile away from that yellow line, and that will become a turnover on downs. So the failure to convert no doubt really hurts, but this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help them big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get this only up to about the 35.
Yeah, baby.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And to give this time to the tailback. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Back to throw. Cunningham. Right side caught by Jackson. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So now the Bucs down by 6, and time a huge factor. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. Finding Pittman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Clock running. The Bucs try to go quickly and get set. He's back to throw. Pass incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And remember, field goal does them no good in this situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is caught. Touchdown. And now they're an extra point away from winning this thing in the final seconds. The dramatic score to tie it, and now they just need the PAT to get the lead late 4th quarter.
So much for the touchdown maker. It's all about the extra point attempter. And I can't wait to see how this one turns out.
So they're not home yet. Still a critical extra point here to break the tie. And they have got the lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown and the ever-critical extra point. So it is a 1-point lead here in the final minute of action. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Cunningham to throw. Jackson with a catch. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.